In this video help, I'm going to be covering the pop-up menu and the navigation around the application. Before I do that, though, I want to show you the Do Action button. The Do Action button includes the Do Find, Perform Find, Show All Records. What that basically means is you can create a find where you empty the fields and find a set of records by typing something in, and then clicking this button performs the find. It allows you to actually display what they call the record in selection. That's a number of one or more records that match the find. If you get an error where it doesn't find anything, you have to cancel and re-enter data that is accurate because the information you try to put in is not the proper information. You have to kind of know what you want to look for. You have to put the entire thing in there. For example, if I were looking for an email address and I put in VCLE, that would be enough for it to find that particular thing and every occurrence of it. So it's the same thing on a name, for example, if I put a name in. When you get done with your find and you're completing the transaction that you wanted to do, you click the Show All Records to bring all the records back into selection. If you go into a list view and there are missing records, it's likely that you have not shown all the records again. When you click on the Show All, it'll bring back all those records so you can view them. New record is not on all this. For example, Do Action, it doesn't always have a new record icon. If you see a new record icon, that indicates that that screen is used to actually create new records. If you do not see a new record in here, do not create a new record on that screen. New records are only created on parent records, this is a parent record screen, so it does have the icon. If it's missing, do not go down to the bottom of the iPad or the menus at the top or somewhere on the browser to create a new record when there's not a new record icon. That's telling you that you should not be adding new records to there. That will create what's called an orphan. An orphan is anytime there's not a correct ID at this top record right here. If that's missing, that's telling you that that record was created in error and it needs to be deleted. It can only be deleted in a portal record, or in this case, if you created a brand new record here. Don't delete a customer record. Don't delete a customer record. A customer record can always be overwritten by, if you started to put it in and then there was an option where, and you can see by here it says, if this is done, delete is not an optional option here. So you do not want to delete it in this particular record. In fact, if you click on it, it's not going to allow you to delete it. You're going to have to cancel it because that little message that came up there explains not to delete it. You use these arrows to go back and forth through the records. So for example, if you'd done a find and you wanted to go next record, previous record, or back to the first, you would use these buttons. The video help for this screen and the navigations, which you're viewing right now, is this one. And then there's one that's a separate one for contractor material report, which we'll cover separately in this later on. That's the last video for this application. Let's go back over to the pop-up menus now. On the pop-up menus, we're currently in the customer screen. There is an amenities portal and a type amenities portal. The type amenities portal is actually where you edit the type amenities button and it goes there to allow you to put the drop-down menus in there. The amenities is the actual one over here where you have amenities list in one of these fields, and that's that portal for that one. The customer list view, we're going to go there. A list view is actually a view where you show all the records that are included, say, in the customer. Any list view is related to a parent record or a list situation where there are a set of records that are owned by, in this case, the customer screen. You see the information about that. That gives you enough information to be able to find what you're looking for in that particular record. Now, since these are samples, I didn't fill everything in, but you should always have enough information here to see what you're looking for. To find a record. To go into that record, depending on where you're at, you would click, now I can click here and change the selected record, but then you would click the customer for the record when you're highlighting it, and it would go to that record. Let's go ahead and go to the next screen. The portal for the UDFs. This particular screen, I'm going to pop back out of there because that's not really the right one. We're going to correct that one. What that is a related contact. You can create a related contact record if you needed one. Let's go to the customer track. Now, I've gone through most of these. Now, I'm just going to refresh you. These are called the record like the print portal. It's in this case, this is the activity portal. So we're going to say we're in the portal. Then there's a list view, and the list view shows all the different activities, and then you would be able to click on the button here at the end of the row to go in and read that particular report or item, and then if you needed to, navigate back to the customer record for that particular item. Normally there would be a lot of these in here for activities, and you can either do a find using this to go ahead and find a specific one, and you'll notice that there's no new add record in here, but you can delete a record. But if you're deleting an activity, be careful that when you're deleting it, that it says don't delete it from here. That's because you don't want to do that, and this will not function properly. It's only the places where you're supposed to delete it that the buttons have the active delete. Okay, let's go to the next place. Now, as you see, these are just repetitive. This is the meetings and the meeting lists, the action track and the action list. And then there's to go to the website thing that I showed you that looked like a jukebox. Below this line, these things are the screens that you saw under the buttons, but these are the portals for those items. So this is the portal for the space inspection, the photos, the offer track, the correspondence, documents, subcontractor select, subcontract schedule, and then the floor plans. Now, the only place you're going to see the contractor materials link is on the customer screen. So we're going to go back there, and that's the next place we're going to be going after this video is done. So if you look on this particular thing, you'll see down here it says go to contractor material report. So that is the link that's only carried in the contractor screen here. So you would go ahead and click on that. I'm just going to go ahead and click on it and show you we're going to go to it. But there's a separate video that's going to explain how this works. So you're complete on this video. Thank you.